Hello everybody, how is it going? So today we are playing Blue Yellow Ace in OP07. I know these decks just came out in our format, but my god did they get so much better in OP07. First match, we're against a Lucci. This was I think my second game with the deck. First game was kind of terrible, I'm not gonna lie, I misplayed so bad I don't even want to upload it. But I did learn a lot from that game, so that is good. But this deck is like sick. Like, it's actually so cool into OP07 format. You're basically just a 7k leader most of the game, if not all of the game. Basically, you only play the two brothers. You play Luffy and Ace, but each of them have 8 targets. So, 4 rush Ace, 4 the blocker Ace. Luffy has 4 of the like discard your life, draw 1, and the pop 1, draw 1. So yeah, you just have some very good targets. It's very consistent in hitting now, having, the extra copies of each Luffy and Ace. So, yeah, the deck it's pretty sick, honestly. It's just a lot of fun. You do kind of just play roulette every turn with, just hitting a Luffy or an Ace. You got, obviously, if you have both in hand, it's pretty likely you'll hit something you can use. If not, play the roulette anyway, and you do have some other ways to kind of cash out. Obviously, if you already have the Luffy I just played, it'll just end up being a draw 1, which is completely fine. If you have Hiyori, you can randomly heal yourself and also stack, one of your Aces or Luffys if you want to. Yeah, the deck is just really, really cool. You also have a lot of good utility cards in like Red Rock. We're playing Boa. I've kind of found that this deck with kind of how the cost works, you have certain turns where like you'll leader effect plus one of the 2-drops and then do something else. Like with your Boa, usually on your 10th on turn, 2-don Ace, use effect, play out one of the little guys, bring out the big one, then you can Boa, do whatever. Just very productive turn. Same thing with Red Rock, it's literally the same thing except you can Red Rock. With Sanji's Pilaf on your 7th on turn, same thing. The deck just makes a lot of sense now, and I think it's just a lot more streamlined than how it is right now in OP06. So, kind of in the waiting room to actually play this deck, but my god, is it cool. I'm sorry, I think I've only yapped about this deck for the first however long it's been, minute or so. So, yeah, I'm sorry. It's kind of, we're just in a back and forth right now of I leader effect, bring out a guy. He finds a way to pop the guy. We're chilling at 7k most of the turns. I'd say it's pretty easy for Lucci to answer my 5-drops. We're not playing Sabo like Black Yellow Luffy, so he can kind of he has free range, he can KO whatever, as long as he has the capabilities to reduce it and also pop it. So, yeah. Lucci is also a very cool deck that I will eventually have to make a video on. There's some new cool combos with Rebecca, or there's a new 3-drop that basically lets you bring back a CP, one of the CP cards, I think 4 or less. So basically you can like Rebecca into that card, into Lucci, so very strong, just basically Rebecca playing Lucci is really, really good. Outside of that, this turn, he already -2'd my Luffy. It'll be -3 after he attacks with leader. I think it's fine for me to drop to 2 life. 2 life is kind of the sweet point where most of your effects actually work in, the Luffy, your Ace has Rush. That's mostly it. If any others come to mind, I'll say it, but I do counter out of that one, and I'll take the Lucci hit just because it works out. And he's probably going to play a 5-drop. Oh, it wasn't the Kaku. I was expecting it to be Kaku to pop the Luffy, but it's Sabo. Sabo's not bad. It prevents me from popping with my 5-drop Luffy, which I guess is decent. We're going to leader effect, find an Ace. We still have, I think we started the game with just a ton of the 2-drop brothers, so yeah, we're chilling. We're about to use our last Ace, at least in hand, so yep, we're gonna do that. And then we still have another 5-drop Ace in hand if we do want to play that. Does kind of fill out the curve, also going wide is good. Also, I'm never quite sure how like you're like efficiently use like the 5-drop Ace, the blue one. We can also peel off this turn, but yeah, like I always assume it's just put a target that you want for your leader effect. So that's kind of what I try to do. I'm just going face here because I feel like for the majority of the game, or the rest of the game, I should be just a 7k leader. So most of his bodies are under 7k, so it feels most efficient to just attack life and not worry about his board. We do end up playing the rush ace to fill out our curve, which is not bad, and we will pass it back. We're looking solid. Next turn could be a boa turn. We'll be on 10 Dawn, or at least we should be. That was our 9 Dawn turn, right? Yeah, that was our 9 Dawn turn. So next turn we will be able to like boa, leader effect, 2-drop, so we're looking good. Also, our board is pretty threatening right now, and we'll hope he doesn't answer everything. That'd be great. Plays down a Spandam, finds a Khalifa. That is the 2k counter Khalifa. I'm pretty sure. Is there a new Khalifa? I don't think there is. There's a new, what's his name? Kaku, the 4-drop Kaku, who's also a 2k counter. But, yep, he's gonna use stage, bring down my rush ace by 2 cost. So, leader will just put it in range of a Lucci. You could always just like Lucci, pop, Garp, and ace. That is fine, I guess, but probably wants to Gecko this turn because he is on 10 Dawn. So if he has maybe the new Great Eruption, I don't know the name of the card. Hopefully he plays it so I can tell you the name of it, but nope, just actually swings 6 with leader. Gonna poke the Luffy. It's tempting to counter this. I think I probably will, just because. And do I? I think the only reason I won't is because Sabo and Lucci can also swing into it. And if he's playing Gecko, Lucci and Sabo both won't be able to swing. He might not want to swing with Sabo, but that was my mentality. I guess I could have, dropped 2 cards to defend that Luffy, but he could have very easily swung with Sabo, because this Gecko could very easily play down a Rebecca. So that was kind of the mentality there. But he does tap out for the Gecko. Interested in what the line is here. I feel like Gecko and Lucci, it definitely doesn't feel bad, but I think it feels less streamlined. You know what I'm saying? Like with Gecko playing Gecko, or like Sakazuki playing Gecko, you're bringing back probably a Lucci and probably something to reduce something. But in this deck, Moria can bring back Rebecca, which could also bring back Lucci, so maybe you do that. But then that's also like a ton of bodies on board, and you don't want to necessarily sack off certain bodies to play all that. But he just ends up bringing back the Lucci and just popping ace and Garp, and that's a fine turn. It's not bad. It's not bad. Our next turn is just gonna involve hopefully hitting a Luffy off of our leader effect. We do have a Garp to try to find it, but playing the Garp does mess with the curve a little bit, so we're probably just gonna end up starting our turn with leader effect. We did stack something last turn, right? I'm pretty sure we did. There might actually be a Luffy there already. He swings 6 for fun, probably just forgot that my leader was 7k. And yeah, we did stack the pop Luffy, which is pretty good for us. I kind of forgot I did that, but hey, there we go, worked out. So we're gonna do that, cheat him out of life. We'll pop one of the Luccis, and we'll clear the other one likely with leader swing, because I assume he's gonna value Sabo more than the Lucci. Or I guess he could counter for 4. If he does that, I might just swing with my ace, because I'm a 7k leader. I'm not too worried about dying. We're gonna play Boa, and then bottom deck the Spandam. That felt like a very efficient turn. That one felt good. Also, Luffy did draw us into another of the 2-drop ace, which will be nice. I think we did hit a couple aces off that last leader effect, so we might whiff, but we will see. We will see. Our opponent is on 10 Dawn, already minusing 2 to Boa, so we're probably losing Boa this turn, maybe to like a Kaku if he just attacks for 5 with leader, minuses 1 to the Boa. Also, could just be another Gecko. Could be, what's her name? A Stussy. I don't know if he'd use Stussy, Stussy. I don't know how you say her name. I think it's Stussy. We'll say it's that, but maybe I'm wrong. He's just gonna go 9 at me, so it's not a Gecko, not a Stussy. We get a Sanji's Peel-Off trigger. Yup, that feels good. He's gonna Tempest Kick. Okay, that's the new Great Eruption. So he might, I guess, just doing that to try to draw into the Kaku. Maybe he found that off of the draw there. So pretty good for him. We're gonna start our turn. Okay, we hit Ace or Luffy, so that works out. We hit the Rush Ace, which is definitely, I think, what we wanted. Just feels the best in this current board state. We'll attack for 7 after cheating him out. He'll block and counter for 2, I assume. We're probably just going to end up clearing this sabo because we're not killing him this turn. Like, technically we could, but okay, never mind. We're ignoring the sabo. Do we have any way to get around it to like get rid of the sabo and then go for game? I don't really think so, but I guess we're just trying to put him to 1 life. Maybe we're just gonna end up playing ace. Oh, nope. We're playing a boa. We're just gonna freeze the gecko again. Also, one thing I will say that's super nice about boa is that how she's worded, it's just they can't attack. It's not that they don't get like frozen, like 10-drop Doffy. They just can't attack. So it's really good against stuff like 9-drop Zoro, which is in the format because, you know, Bonnie does play it. Speaking of Bonnie, I will probably have another video out soon on that deck because she is very fun to play. Also, I will definitely have more ace content because I think when I sat down and started recording ace, I recorded for something crazy like 2 hours, so yeah. There's probably going to be a couple ace videos. I was having a lot of fun playing the deck, so if you guys are into that, there will be more of it. So he's going to start the turn with a Tempest Kick, -30 the boa. So probably wants to 8-drop Gecko, I assume. Is just going to go 1 Dawn on leader, attack the ace for 6, I assume. We will counter that most likely, just because we have a lot of cards in hand. I think it's probably worth trying to save a body here. So yeah, we'll counter with the Garp. We're out of the 2-drops, but at this point, we're just trying to go for game next turn, so that's just where we're at. So yeah, what could Gecko bring out? I guess, again, it's Gecko into Lucci, and I don't think he really has a way to reduce. Okay, it brings ace down to a 3 cost, but I think you'd need like 1 more card to get, you know, Lucci to pop 2 here, and I don't think he has enough Dawn to do that. So I'm just gonna go 2 Dawn on Kaku, attack ace for 8, and ends up just disconnecting there. I think he just might have completely forgot that he wanted to play Gecko and kind of messed up that turn, which is unfortunate. I was curious how that game would have went, but I guess after the misplay, he wasn't trying to find out. Next up, we have Doffy, another very cool deck. We're going to start off with the Garp. Sadly, don't find any of the 2-drops. I feel like Garp in this deck really just wants to find the 2-drops because you want your 5-drops in deck to find off leader effect. So, yeah. We're just going to start with 5, and we're going to Sanji's Pilaf because this is the turn to do it. Going first, your turn 2 is not very good, honestly. Well, with Pilaf, it is very good. Drawing 2 is very strong, especially when, you know, it just works perfectly. But going first, going like on your second turn, you can't leader effect and then 2-drop. If you're going second, you can, but I like, whenever I see Pilaf, I'm completely fine with going first. Sometimes I'd honestly just rather go first because that draw 2 is really nice. We do trigger out a Satori. He plays down a Jinbei into a Gecko. That's pretty good. We're going to go 2 Dawn, use leader effect. We're probably just going to cheat out the ace and only swing with our leader this turn. Yeah, I know this ace doesn't get rush, but I'm kind of completely fine with that because I want to fight for board. So I'm definitely not going to swing with Satori. I'll probably just swing very big with my leader and just chill with that. Go 10, he does take. Potentially getting a trigger here. That would suck for me if it's like a Gravity Blade, and it is. That's unfortunate. I know that, yeah, you could kind of play around it, but also don't you want the value of getting +2 on your leader? But he might have just taken a 7k hit regardless, so you could kind of consider that a misplay, but also, I don't know. I think it's worth getting that extra 2k. Just unfortunate it was a trigger. He is on 6 Dawn, goes 1 Dawn on Gecko, attacks me for 7. I think it's definitely fine defending 1, because we know he definitely wants the leader effect. And this turn he does get to swing for 7 3 times, which is pretty good. We'll take that one, and we might take this one. And maybe not. We'll probably drop a 2k. We found all of our Hioris, which is kind of funny. But, yep, he's just going to pass it back to me. I'm going to use leader. We find either of the aces. Definitely going to take the rush one because I want to fight for board. So we'll cheat him out, boost up the leader. Just gonna go 5 with the Satori because I have 3 Dawn left over, so I can swing 5 again with Garp, and that would have been a misplay if he didn't defend the Jinbei, but he did, thankfully, so my swing with Garp will get some value here. Then we're gonna go 7 at the Jinbei again, he lets it go, and then we'll go 9 at the Gecko, and he also lets it go, so that turn felt pretty good. Next turn, we're on what? We're on 9 Dawn. Right now, I guess we can like 5-drop plus leader 2-drop. It's not bad. But he uses the Gravity Blade to bottom deck basically my whole board and then clears the Garp. Yeah, that card's very strong against, I think, any of the brothers decks because they all revolve around 5 costs. So, yep, we start our turn with leader affecting, find another rush ace, and we'll just cheat him out. Attack for 10, and then attack for 11. So, just really applying pressure here. He has no board, so we can definitely, potentially, go for game next turn. Does have like a decent amount of cards in hand. Also definitely needs a blocker this turn, but he could potentially survive. It just really depends how he plays this turn. He's gonna 3000 Worlds the ace. That's definitely not bad. Still has, what, 6 Dawn to work with. Plays a Weevil. Gonna draw 1. And I guess he just attacks me for 7. I don't know if he's stacked his deck at all, but honestly, like, this version of Doffy can kind of get away with it sometimes, just because you have so many good Warlords, and I think the deck is like 30 something Warlords or something like that, something crazy. But we pick up a Sanji's Pilaf and we use it, and we find 2 more 2-drops, which is absolutely fantastic. That is like just exactly what you want. So we'll cheat out the Luffy that pops. We'll draw an ace. It's not bad, and we're just gonna put him to 0. And next turn, just try to go for game. You know, I think it's I think it's almost unfortunate that like Sabo didn't get another yellow 5-drop. You know, like Luffy, and I mean Ace got a blue one, but did Sabo get like a red 5-drop? I don't think so. It would have made sense if he did, but I don't think he did. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like the deck is kind of completely fine with just playing Ace and Luffy as the main targets, but it would have been cool, you know, if you played all of them, but I guess whatever. He ends up playing Hancock into another Weevil. We find the Luffy that we were looking for, and yep, we're just gonna pop the Hancock, and I get hit with the perfectly timed concede. That was kind of crazy. Well played to my opponent there. And next up we have Kyros, which is a interesting deck that I haven't really looked at all. I know he like flips his life to pop a card, something along those lines. He plays a lot of these small blockers, which get a good amount of value against Ace, just because, you know, you're swinging very big, at least early on, so normally you'd be able to take their life and feel good, but these small blockers are going to get a lot of value. I think I remember a little bit of this game, and it actually ended up being very close, which I felt like I was really ahead, but opponent kind of came back a little bit, so it was a good game. But we're on 5 Dawn next turn. We have an ace, a 2-drop ace. We hit a peel off of life, which is very nice. We're gonna go 2 on leader, and we find a 5-drop ace, which is nice because that's the only 2-drop we have. And we're just gonna cheat him out. We get to stack the deck a little bit. We can put, I think this is a misplay. I think we should have bottom decked 2 cards, just so I have the potential of finding a 2-drop. I think that would have been better. We swing 10, he blocks again. Yup, it's annoying, but I mean, whatever. Run 7 Dawn next turn. Maybe we just end up playing Boa. That probably just sounds like the most reasonable play because we don't have any 2-drops. He's gonna play down a 1-legged soldier, bring my ace down to a 2-cost, and then Soap Sheep, and then Brook. That was a lot of cards to remove one of mine, especially just being a 5-drop. So I think I'll definitely take that exchange. Swings 5 for fun. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Maybe I accidentally counter. That is always something to play for. Are we gonna? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna Boa. Psych! We're gonna peel off into finding a Luffy, and then sack our opponent by finding another Luffy. My god. how do I do it? I think that play would have made more sense if I didn't stack my top two, but I did it anyway, so yeah, my bad. But I think I might have just forgot. It worked out regardless. I guess we can't complain. Passing it over. Our opponent's on 8 Dawn. I imagine Kyros is playing Gecko. I don't know exactly if he has any good targets in Grave, but yeah, that's always something to acknowledge. But he does end up just playing the Rebecca. We'll have to see what he adds back. I guess didn't have any targets in Grave. Okay, this turn is definitely a bit of a fumble. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Unfortunate. But we're gonna go 2 Dawn on leader. We find either a Satori or an Ace. We're probably just gonna Hiyori. Oh no, we're just gonna Luffy. Yeah, that's fair. Another play, I guess, would have been to just Hiyori, you know, take the Satori and then stack like a Luffy in life. Wouldn't have been bad, but it looks like we're gonna attack for 8, and then probably 9. I do misplay here again. 5-drop Luffy has to be, you have to be at 2 or less life to get the pop off. So a bit, that's my bad. You know, my bad. Maybe I should have played Hiyori, taken my life, not replaced it, and then I could have popped the Brook. That is a play too. I probably could have done that. I'm not under much pressure, I guess, but he plays down a Kuzan. Thankfully, we just found a Red Rock. He is going to clear my whole board. Attacks with the Brook for fun again. Goes 5 at me. We'll probably just drop a 1k. Or, okay, no, I like that. We go down to 2 life. We find a peel off. I mean, never punched, I guess. But we do that just so, you know, all of our effects are online. We don't have to worry about it. And, yep, we're just going to Red Rock Kuzan. Oh, I don't even have any of the 2-drops. So, yeah, we're just going 4 Dawn on leader and attacking for 9. Fair enough. Yeah, we just might as well. We do have a 5-drop Ace in hand, so we could kind of go for game next turn if he ends up taking this life. And I imagine he will. Yep. And we'll pass it back. Plays down a Viola. I'm pretty sure this is the Viola that, like, either look at, I think, your opponent's life, or you flip up your opponent's life. It's, oh, well, I hovered over it for a second, and I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know exactly what the card does. I know it looks at someone's life. I'm not sure who. He attacks me for 8. I counter out. Attacks me for 7. We probably counter out of this one, too, just because we have an abundance of cards in hand. So, yep. We pick up a Luffy, which is solid. We'll go 2 Dawn on leader. Look at the top 5. We sadly don't find a Luffy, but we're probably almost out of them, honestly. We have a lot of Luffys in hand. We just countered with 1, so we're probably close to it. Looking like we're going to put Satori in life. Play... Oh my goodness, yeah. The Satori definitely kind of screws me here because I've put myself at 3 life now. Oh no, don't do it. Okay, at least I didn't do it. Yeah. Can you, like, just cancel leader effect and not put anything there? I feel like you definitely can, but I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, so this turn was definitely very botched. I definitely could have just, like, played Rush Ace, and it would have been a more productive turn. But probably just would have ended up eating the 2 blockers that he has, so I guess it's okay. But that was definitely a botched turn. Yeah. He's actually going to end up playing another 10-drop Kuzan, which right now we don't have the answer to. Yeah, I guess we're just going to hope we survive 1 turn. Psych, I top deck the Red Rock. This time we'll surely hit a Luffy, right? Hey, we do. So, yeah, this turn is pretty easy. Don't have to think about it much. Just cheat out a Luffy. Attack for a bunch. It'll get blocked by the blocker most likely. Yeah. And we'll just pass. Hopefully, I mean, honestly, if he has another Kuzan, is it that bad? We get to, you know, just swing with leader, swing with Rush Ace. We probably live a turn, maybe. I don't know. It's a bit scary, but yeah, we'll see. He's actually going to play a Laboon, who taps himself to give -4 to something. And then Brooks, my Luffy, not bad. He doesn't have a blocker right now, though, so we'll probably be able to put him to 0 life, which is good. He has 3 Dawn on leader, attacks me for 8. I don't. Oh, I do with 2K. Sweet. Forgot that Yamato is a 2K. Very good. We pick up a Boa for turn. It's looking like a pretty good turn to Boa. We can leader effect for fun. It doesn't do much. We're probably just not supposed to leader effect. Yeah, this turn's kind of awkward. We could like go Luffy and then Ace, pop something, draw one, and then if we draw like a 2 cost, that could change our plays. But it looks like we're just gonna go 8 at life. Hopefully, should put him to 0. Never mind. He drops his whole hand to stay at 1 life. I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe it is though. I'm not gonna use Ace this turn. It's like not bad. I guess it puts him on draw blocker if I Ace this turn, but I'm just gonna Boa and freeze the Laboon, which might not have been the best like target, but I mean the Brooks all need at least 1 Don to attack me, so I'm not that crazy, honestly. I guess it kind of just ends up being the same thing. He does top deck a Rebecca, so yeah, if we aced last turn, it wouldn't have done much. He's gonna bring back Brook, -1 of the Boa, and then Laboon can bring it down by 4, and then the Brook will eventually clear the Boa. He's gonna attack me for 6. We're gonna have to take one of these lives. We'll hope that like one of them's a trigger, but there's no way I counted this. Oh, I do. I guess it guarantees that I live, which is, I guess, fair enough. He pops a Boa with leader effect. We see it's a Satori, last life. So if we find an answer to this Rebecca, we can pretty easily go for game. We grab an Ace off of our life, an EO7, and we grab a Luffy. Okay, so we have 2 rush aces. Never mind, we have guaranteed game. Very good. Hey, if I didn't top deck it, I probably would have found it off my leader effect, hopefully. But it says GG there. I mean, I could have just not had it, but I mean, I guess he just assumed I did. Yep, we'll play down the second one, and we do get game. So yeah, it actually ended up being a pretty close game. I think I had a turn where I misplayed pretty bad. I think he had a turn that he also kind of messed up, so yeah, it was interesting just to see Kyros as a deck playing a lot of the new cards. But anyways, I'll throw up the list, give it a try. Deck is a lot of fun, honestly, and very consistent now with all the 5 drops. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.